How fitting that the 4K of Speed Racer just dropped, since we're going to be talking about it on this final Choco Cinema for the month. Now, Choco Cinemas, where every Monday of each month we do a deep dive on a genre or something like that. And this film was mocked when it was released, only to slowly become a cult classic years later. It's a movie so colorful, emotional, and visually insane that Hollywood hasn't made anything quite like it since. This is Speed Racer. Now, there are movies ahead of their time, and then there's Speed Racer, because back in 2008, when I was a little 7-year-old boy, audiences weren't ready for this thing. The visuals were too wild, the editing's too fast, the emotions were too sincere. But now, it feels like one of the boldest blockbuster experiences ever made, especially in a world where you're getting remakes and this and that, and everybody wants to make everything the same. You know, this film was released in 2008 by the Wachowskis, the creators of The Matrix. Speed Racer was based on a classic anime series from the 60s. And instead of trying to do the impossible, they just decided to be unique. This wasn't just a live-action adaptation. This was an attempt to turn animation itself into cinema. And honestly, I think that ambition alone makes the movie very fascinating on its own right. At its core, Speed Racer tells a surprisingly emotional story. Speed is a young racer obsessed with one thing. Whoa, obsession! Every time I say that, obsessed with one thing, driving. Not fame, not money, just the pure joy of racing. That's where he feels alive. Come on! But as he rises in popularity, he discovers that the racing industry is corrupt and controlled by corporations manipulating outcomes for profit. And suddenly, racing becomes more than a competition. It becomes a rebellion. Now, let's address the obvious thing first. The movie looks insane. Now, whether or not you like that or not, I personally love it. Colors explode off the screen, backgrounds blend into transitions, scenes flow together almost like dream sequences. And in 2008, a lot of people hated that style, and some people still do. But watching it now, it feels visionary. The Wachowskis weren't trying to, initiate reality. They were trying to make a anime reality. Like, they made it into, to me, as far as it looks like an anime come to life, and it's so cool. Cars flipping through impossible tracks, boosts, crashes, split-second drifts. It feels like motorsport and more, or it feels less like motorsport and more like a live-action anime in the best possible way. It's the emotion behind all of the choices and the drives. Every race means something. Every victory carries some type of weight. And that emotional core keeps the movie grounded even when the visuals go completely off the rails. And underneath all that chaos, Speed Racer's actually saying something pretty powerful. It's about passion versus the profit. About artists and dreamers refusing to let corporations control what they love. Speed races because it means something to him, not because of money or fame. The corporations race because it makes money. And that conflict gives the movie a surprising amount of heart, especially now in an era where so many blockbusters do feel designed by committee. Another thing that makes Speed Racer special is its sincerity. The Racer family genuinely loves each other. There's no cynical edge. There's no constant irony. The movie believes in optimism itself. It believes in family, and it believes passion matters. And personally, I feel like that sincerity might have felt cheesy to some audiences back then, of course, but today it does indeed feel refreshing. When Speed Racer released, it did bomb at the box office, unfortunately. Critics were, of course, divided, and audiences didn't really know what to make of it. But over the years, I feel like something interesting really happened. People revisit it like myself, which I loved as a kid anyways. I remember playing the DS game. And slowly, it became a cult classic because modern audiences finally caught up to what Wachowskis were trying to do. And now, many people consider it one of the most visually creative blockbusters ever made. And so, with that, Speed Racer isn't just underrated. I think that it's very misunderstood, or at least it was. It seems like for him to get a 4K release, they know there's an audience there. A movie that refused to play things safe. A movie overflowing with creativity, emotion, and pure visual imagination. And even if that doesn't work for everyone, you can't really deny that it swings for the fences harder than most blockbusters ever dare to. And so with that, that is it for this week's Choco Cinema. If you enjoyed this deep dive in the Speed Racer, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more weekly movie discussions, and let me know down below in the comments below, do you think Speed Racer was ahead of its time? And until next time, this is Mr. Choco. A little behind the scenes for you if you stayed around. This is the steelbook of Speed Racer. It looks really, really cool. And while I'm showing you this, I want to talk about my Patreon producers. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And that's so cool. And if you feel like doing so as well, we have unboxings like this on the channel. We have video game videos and reviews and stuff like that. We have out of theater reactions, and we also have spoiler reviews and movie vlogs. So if that interests you, hit the link down below in the description below. And yeah, with that, you can also hit the YouTube join button. You'll get the same videos on whichever one. It's just whichever one you decide to. But if you want to go over to Patreon directly, link down below in the description below. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.